Hey Brother VC, we interrupt this Overkill album to bring you a contest entry for a Brendan Van D, our metal VC buddy down in Australia. Brendan's just reached 100 subs, although he's 125, having just checked his channel. Congratulations, Brendan, you're doing a great job. Started off a little bit nervous, I think, not going in front of the camera, but you've, as I say, dipped your toe and you've dipped your face in front of the camera, and going great guns. Your channel's going to keep growing, especially with some of the great finds and great albums and good banter that you have on your channel. So keep it up. 3 questions from Brendan. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. You'll get that as we go along. I meant to put out honorary mention. Hold on a second. Oh, this didn't go to plan, did it? Yes, haha, here we go. Yes. Could have used that as a thumbnail, but I'm not. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly soundtrack. Not a soundtrack guy. This is one of the few I have, but I do love this one. Could show that as a good because it's such a great movie, but that was an impromptu honorary mention that I've just wasted about 30 seconds showing and adding no value whatsoever to the video. So on with the good. I think I've got 3 albums in each category. I'll explain why they are in those categories, starting from now. First up, a band that I talk about a lot. They're not a metal band. They're more of an alternative rock, melodic rock. But they're Welsh. They're from my hometown in Cardiff. This is the Manic Street Preachers, and this is probably their first kind of breakthrough single. It might even be their first single. I'm not 100% sure now, but yeah. So this was the song Motown Junk that really got me interested in who this band, the Manic Street Preachers, were, and where to find out more stuff about them. Just had a quick look on Discogs, and this could now be probably one of my I don't know about rarest, but one of my pricier 12-inch singles that I have. It's top price for it is around the £20 mark now, but I don't think I would ever part with it. But nice to know that it's increasing in value as I increase in age. That's the first one. Second one, I've chosen something that I got as VCLT from a guy who used to make videos quite a lot. Helmet Diggy Bill. Miss you, buddy, if you're still watching. And that's this. I've still got the note that he put in there as well. So this is the Ramones' Subterranean Jungle. Now, not one of the best Ramones albums by far. It's Marky Ramone's last album. Here he is. He's been literally cut and paste. Even before cut and paste existed, he was cut and paste and stuck in the side as a sign that he was going to get kicked out of the band. Fantastic songs on here though. Outsider, Psychotherapy, Every Time I Eat Vegetables It Makes Me Think of You. But what was significant about this VCLT was I did a couple of Ramones collections videos, and out of my whole Ramones collection I have everything on vinyl and everything on CD, and with the exception of Subterranean Jungle, I could not find it anywhere, and I've looked, and that included online it was just ridiculously priced. And then up popped Bill, and he sent me this, and it was a US pressing, and it was still in the shrink, and it was just such a great feeling to get everything on vinyl. And I don't have all originals, obviously. Yeah, this is an original, but there's a few that I have reissues with in there. But when it comes to Ramones, I just kind of wanted it all on vinyl and all on CD. He also included this. This was a what does it say here? It's kind of a poster flyer from a Ramones exhibit that was in Queens one time, so that was nice. So I keep that in there. I keep the note, and it's I've had a lot of great VCLT over the years, but this is one of my favourite because the significance of the album was a real grail. Funnily enough, 2 weeks after getting this, I did find a UK copy in the record shop. It's kind of like buses. All of a sudden, they all start turning up at once. So I grabbed that as well. So now I have probably one of the few Ramones albums I actually have 2 copies of. But it took me a long time to get this one. And number 3, one I'm probably sick of me mentioning, but this is a good for me. This is the Kingsman Scotland Anthrax box set. This is the show that they played in Glasgow that I went to a couple of years ago. I went completely overboard with it. So the box set just came with the album, and I did a video on this, and given how thick that is, and it's just got a triple vinyl in here, it didn't really work as a box set, but I padded it out with the DVD and the CD to make it into a proper box set, I think, which is what I think Anthrax should have done in the first place. But this makes me smile. Just love having something that I can just grab and say, yeah, I was there. And I'm sure anyone that's got this album, you can probably just hear me, singing along in the background. I think I made this the album that it is today, without question. Okay, that's my good stuff. That's the stuff that makes me feel good. I'm not sure if that's the exact meaning that you meant, Brendan. You said things like deprived, prized, favourite, expensive or rare, but that one was good for me. Bad. This copy of Michael Schenker Group first album, it's a fantastic album. It's one of those albums that I saw everywhere. It was everywhere I was digging, and I always found something else I wanted instead. It was really before I kind of really clicked with Michael Schenker's stuff. It wasn't until I picked up one of the recent albums, Temple of Rock, that I really thought, oh my god, what have I been missing? So this was in my local record store. It was £2.99, and I grabbed it. But what I didn't realise, I didn't check the vinyl. In fact, in my local record shop, I don't often check the vinyl, which may be take a sharp intake of breath from people, but I very rarely had a bad record for him that I kind of trust his grading. But this one didn't have a label on side B. Not massively important, and I've since got an upgrade copy from the same shop, but I guess I got what I paid for. But fantastic album, but just it's bad because it didn't have a label on, and I didn't notice. Everyone knows my love for Music for Nations pressing. This is the worst, baddest Music for Nations pressing I have. This is a compilation, Hell Comes to Your House. It has got a phenomenal lineup on here. It's got Manowar, Exciter, Anthrax, Earthshaker, Hellion, Loudness, Metallica, Hellstar, The Rods, Tsunami, Earthshaker again, and then Alaska. That's awesome. But it's got some great cuts from other Music for Nations albums. But I bought this off eBay, and it was one of those gambles where it doesn't say it doesn't say in the description the condition, but it turned out I paid over the odds. It kind of looks like it's been, you're not going to see this here, in a slasher movie. It is. It's got some things though. It's got some significant scratches on there, but it's scuffed to fuck basically. And there's no other way to describe it. I have tried. I cleaned it every which way possible. I spin clean, hand clean. I even did the old glue thing, and all I got was high. But it made no difference. It crackles all the way through. In fact, with all the scratches on there, it doesn't skip at all. But it is almost unlistenable. So I need an upgrade of Hell Comes to Your House, and I will find you. I like the. I think I'd like to get the red vinyl version of this actually as an upgrade. But yeah, that was probably my worst eBay purchase. And another bad, which is also not bad, it's good, is this is a 12-inch single. This is Anthrax Indians. Focus. There we go. 12-inch single. This is the limited poster bag edition. I'm not going to get the poster out. It is huge. Side 2. This is quite a famous mispress actually. So side 2 is supposed to be Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Taint, but instead, and even on the label it says Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Taint. But there's a single track on here, and it is Imitation of Life. So that was a bad one as well. Bad in terms of a mispress. And let's move on to the ugly. For the ugly, I have got 3 bootlegs, 3 ugly bootlegs, and 2 of them are for the same band. First one, this is a Ramones Warthog. Now this is taken from a German Boblingen, maybe it's Austrian, sounds kind of German to me, and it's from 1989, so I don't know if CJ joined the band by now, but just the it kind of sounds okay. I mean, it's very bootleg quality, it is very recorded in someone's back pocket on a Walkman, but you can tell what the songs are. Unfortunately, the person writing the track listing didn't know so much what the songs are. There's it's not so obvious in the names of the songs, to be honest with you. I mean, We're a Happy Family Tonight, Somebody Gotta Help Me, Raining, I can't even remember, but the songs don't really match up, and the order doesn't match up, and there are other songs on the album that aren't listed on the track listing. So this is a bit ugly, fugly in terms of the packaging, but you know, a lot of Ramones bootlegs don't sound great at all. But if I see them on vinyl, in fact, I don't tend to pick them up now. I used to pick them up on vinyl because vinyl was really cheap and bootlegs were really cheap. But now it almost seems like it's it almost adds to the cost, the fact that it's Ramones and it's a bootleg, and really a lot of them aren't in great condition. As is this one. Now this is live at the Palladium, 1979. This was actually repressed recently as a record store day. A couple of years ago, I think. All the tracks just about match up, if I remember, but the pressing for this is you can even see it when you look at the record. The grooves are so tight together that the needle skips out of them because it just can't stay in the groove for the speed of the record. So a bad pressing, and not one that I can really play much, but nice to have. Maybe one day I'll get that record store day one and hear the recording for what it is. For what it is, though, this actually sounds pretty good when it does play well, but certainly on the outside when the record's spinning faster, it doesn't sound too good. And the final one I have, and I picked this one because you picked this one as well. I can't remember if it was your bad or your ugly, but you had it on CD and it was all beat to shit. But yeah, Metallica, Kill 'Em All. Now this looks in fantastic condition, but unbeknownst to me at the time when I bought it because I thought it was a Music for Nations press, and I paid the going rate for a Music for Nations press for Kill 'Em All at the time, about 5 years ago now. But it wasn't until a couple of 3 years ago maybe that I found out that it was actually a Russian bootleg. In fact, it's counterfeit, should we say, rather than bootleg. And I've never been happy with the sound quality. In fact, a couple of months back, I showed it on a recent update. I bought, I've already put it away. I bought Kill 'Em All on CD, and I just listened to it on my recent holiday, and oh my god, I listened to it nearly every day of the holiday. It sounded absolutely superb, and this is on CD. And I fell in love with the album again, but up until then, this was the only physical copy and the only way I was listening to it for a number of years, and it just doesn't sound fantastic. I mean, it doesn't skip or anything, but it just doesn't have the you know, the balls that Kill 'Em All should have. So this is now a Grail, a real MFN, Music for Nations, number 7. See, it's even attacking me now, poking me in the eye. Music for Nations number 7, Kill 'Em All, is now probably at the top of my Grail list. But so there we go. I hope you enjoy my entry, and subscribe to his channel. Check him out. All good stuff.